Hi, today I want to talk about an artistic crisis, or maybe more accurately, just feeling stuck in creative process. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, whether you're an artist or work in any other creative field. For a while now, I've been feeling like the ways I've been approaching my art just aren't clicking for me anymore. It's not that I don't enjoy creating, I still do, but I've hit a point where I need something more, something new to push myself forward. The routines and techniques that used to work for me don't feel as exciting or fulfilling as they once did. So I figured I'd share what I'm going through, not to make it overly dramatic or anything, but because I think a lot of us go through phases like this. I know I'm not alone in this, and maybe my experience will resonate with some of you. I've been creating art for quite a while now, and it's something that still brings me a lot of joy. I love the process, whether it's sketching, painting, or exploring new techniques. But lately, I've noticed that the ways I've been approaching my art don't excite me as much as they used to. I'm not completely frustrated with my work, but there's this feeling inside me that I want to push myself further. There's this feeling inside me that I want to explore new directions and break out of the patterns I've been in. It's not that what I'm doing now is bad or unfulfilling. It's just that I know there's more I could be learning, more I could be exploring. I'm someone who really thrives on growth, on trying new things and challenging myself. And right now, I feel like I've hit a bit of a standstill in terms of development. It's like I'm still enjoying the journey, but I am craving something new to spark that excitement again. As much as I love creating, I have to admit that I'm feeling a bit stuck on a plateau right now. It's not a creative block where I can't come up with any ideas or don't know what to draw. It's more that I'm not seeing the kind of progress I'd like to in my work. I don't feel like I'm evolving, and for someone like me who really thrives on growth, that's a bit unsettling. I love pushing myself, finding new ways to express ideas and exploring different techniques. But recently, I felt like I'm doing the same things over and over and they're just not moving me forward. It's frustrating, but it's also motivating in a weird way. It makes me want to work, to figure out where I need to improve, and to push through this period of feeling a little stuck. Another thing that I've noticed is that there are certain skills I'm lacking right now, and they're holding me back from reaching the next level in my work. It's not that everything is bad or that nothing's working, but there are definitely areas where I know I could do better. Sometimes I look at a piece and feel like I didn't quite capture what I had in my mind. Maybe it's technique I haven't mastered yet, or maybe it's a new medium I'm not comfortable with. Whatever it is, there's this feeling that I'm not fully equipped with the skills I need to bring my vision to life in the way I like to. It's not a fun realization, but I'm trying to view it as an opportunity. It's a reminder that there's always more to learn. I'm not going to let it discourage me. Instead, I want to focus on what I can improve. So, what I am doing about all this? I've decided that the best way forward is to go back to the basics. Whenever I feel stuck like this, revisiting the fundamentals has always helped me get back on track. By going back to foundational exercises, whether it's sketching basic forms, practicing shading, or reworking color theory, it gives me a chance to refine my skills and see things in a new light. Sometimes when we're caught up in the excitement of creating, we rush past these essential building blocks. One thing that's always worked for me when I felt stuck or uninspired is going back to the basics. It might sound weird, but sometimes the best way forward is to step back. I've realized that refining fundamental skills like sketching, shading, and even working on my composition has always helped me regain focus. There's something almost meditative about practicing the basics. It brings a sense of calm and clarity, and with that calm comes a lot of mental space where new ideas can start to grow. It's in this quiet focus on simple things that I often find fresh inspiration for my art. Going back to simple exercises can feel like a breath of a fresh air. It reminds me of why I love creating in the first place, and there's something really satisfying about building up from a strong foundation. Whether it's drawing simple forms, practicing light and shadow, or just experimenting with color theory again, it helps reignite that creative spark. Like with anything, art has its ups and downs. Some days I'm absolutely overflowing with ideas, confidence, and excitement. Everything I create feels like it's coming together exactly how I want it to. And then there are times like this, where no matter how much I try, I just feel like I'm falling short. But what's interesting is that in these low points, I often find a renewed sense of motivation. It's like the dissatisfaction I'm feeling pushes me to grow. I know I'm not where I want to be yet, but that gives me a reason to keep learning and experimenting. It's almost like these low moments are necessary. They're what push us out of our comfort zones and force us to try something new. The important thing is to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're not progressing. One thing I found really helpful when I'm feeling stuck is to experiment with new tools and techniques. Sometimes just switching up my materials or trying out a different style can reignite that creative spark. I've been playing around with different kinds of paints and pencils, trying to break away from what I usually rely on. It's been a refreshing change, even if some experiments don't work out as I imagined. The point is that I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and that in itself is pushing me to grow. I think we all have those familiar tools and techniques that we fall back on because they're comfortable. But stepping away from that, even just for a little while, can bring new ideas and new energy into your work. I've come to realize that part of being an artist is accepting that the journey is ongoing. There's no final destination where you suddenly know it all or have made it. And honestly, I think that's a good thing. The constant learning, experimenting, and growing is what keeps art exciting. Right now, my work might not be where I want it to be, but that doesn't mean I'm failing. I'm still showing up, still creating, and still learning, and that's what matters. Every step, every mistake, every experiment, it's all part of the journey, and it's what will make me a better artist in the long run. One thing I've noticed is that when I'm in these low phases, the frustration I feel actually motivates me to improve. It's almost like the dissatisfaction becomes the fire that pushes me to try harder, to learn more, and to experiment with new things. I can't just sit in this feeling of being stuck. I have to do something about it. So, in a weird way, these frustrating moments are actually what drive my growth as an artist. It's like I know I'm not happy with where I'm at right now, but that unhappiness is what's going to push me to get better. I'm already looking at new ways to approach my art, new techniques to try, and new skills to learn. It's uncomfortable, but I think that discomfort is where real progress happens. When I hit a creative block, one of the things that helps me is stepping out of my comfort zone and trying something new. I think sometimes we get stuck because we're doing the same things over and over. We fall into routines with our art, using the same materials, the same techniques, the same approaches, and after a while it starts to feel stale. So I've been experimenting more. I've been trying out different tools, playing with textures and colors in ways I wouldn't usually. I'll even work in a completely different medium just to see what happens. For example, if I've been stuck in drawing with color pencils, I'll switch to painting or graphite pencils. It's less about creating a finished piece and more about breaking out of that creative rut. So, where do I go from here? I'm going to keep pushing myself, keep practicing the fundamentals, and keep experimenting with new ideas. This plateau I'm on right now isn't permanent. It's just part of the process. I'm choosing to look at this moment as an opportunity. It's a chance to re-evaluate, to refocus, and to grow in ways I might not have expected. And if you're going through something similar, I hope this video reminds you that it's okay to feel stuck sometimes. It doesn't mean you're not progressing, and in fact, it might mean that growth is right around the corner. If you're feeling stuck or in an artistic rut, I'd love to hear how you're dealing with it in the comments. That's all for today. You can check out my Patreon page for more inspiration and art lessons. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.